To be honest with you, I always thought being a tradie was the easy way out. I always thought, yeah, it's an easy route, but after working, it's been completely different. When I first started, I was always slacking off with my books. I think if you're starting off, you should get into a habit, at least doing a write-up once a week. Now I've started doing every Monday, at least half an hour write-ups, doing my theory work. It's a bit rough. I mean, it's such a stressful job. You get faced with so many challenges every day on site, and I think that can lead to a poor mindset, poor mental health. I think just trusting yourself, backing yourself is really important. You don't want to always doubt yourself. If you are struggling with any work, just you. Like, it's your apprenticeship. Nothing like going to uni. It's you and your books.
What is success to you?
I think it was a learn to love it experience.
And there's always pitfalls that you can fall in, but then you've got no one else to blame but yourself.
Number one thing if you're struggling is to catch up with people about it.
Hey guys, Better Builder Apprentice is brought to you by our friends at Builders Academy. Builders Academy is New Zealand's newest apprentice provider, and they definitely here to shake things up. Why use Builders Academy? Well, first of all, they're just as good as the other guys, but on top of that, they will come on site every 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, that's quite a lot, right? That means that your apprentices will be a lot more engaged, and they'll have to learn a lot less modules in between trainer visits. Secondly, they are backed by master builders. And thirdly, they have an experienced and motivated team that knows the industry inside and out. In fact, most of them are ex-chippies. Just go to buildersacademy.co.nz. Hunter, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, cheers for having me on. It's cool being on the other. I listen to your stuff quite a bit at work, so it's cool being on the other side of it now. Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah. You
Cheers
just
for having
mentioned
me on.
before you had Mitch from TRI Construction on your site when his episode came out.
Yeah, gave him a little shit for it, but that's cool.
And you mentioned before that you don't have a girlfriend yet, eh? So that's why we're here.
Hopefully after this one, yeah,
Just
I'll pop off on the Instagram.
Get some free promotion. We'll make sure you look good, and
Cheers, bro. Thank you.
a bit of advertising.
Yeah.
Is what we're doing here.
Thank you.
Cool. So you're an apprentice, third year,
Third year, yeah.
and how old are you now?
22.
22. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a Zoomer, Gen Z.
Zoomer, yeah.
That's what they call it? I think.
Gen Z?
Gen Z, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll use this time to get a little bit into your head, do a bit of psychoanalysis as well about what drives you Zoomers,
Yeah.
so that us older fellas can understand you guys a bit better.
Okay,
Cool.
Yeah.
But tell me a little bit about your upbringing. You grew up here in Auckland. Talk to me a little bit about what that was like on the coast, right?
Yeah, Hibiscus Coast, lived there my whole life, grew up there, always been into sports and stuff like that, football being my main one, but always enjoyed skating, go surfing quite a bit as well with the boys, and recently just started playing golf, so
Cool.
go out most weekends, yeah.
Oh, nice. You don't have a mullet. Most people on the coast have a mullet, don't
I
they?
mean, a little bit. Need a haircut. I'm
coming
getting a haircut after this, so
It's coming out. Normally you see a lot of rat's tails, a lot of mullets on the coast.
Yeah.
I live kind of on the coast now. I'm in Wainui, but it's kind of surrounded by coasties now. So I'm
it's
from
cool
up
out
there.
there. It's a cool community.
Yeah, it's very chilled up there, and it's just a bit more slower lifestyle, I think, than like North Shore or Auckland, around Auckland City. So, okay. So, and who were you in high school? Like, it's not that long ago, what, 3-4 years ago. Who were you in high school? Were you like the jock, the geek, the popular kid? Who were you in high school?
I wouldn't say. I was kind of just a chill guy, yeah. Bit of a nerd as well. I smarted quite a few things, but got along with everyone.
And did you know you wanted to get into building from a very young age, or what was the sort of introduction to that thought around becoming a builder?
Nah, I actually always during school I actually wanted to go to uni and get a degree. But then during the summer holidays I was doing a bit of labouring work, did some land surveying as well, just working on a construction site, and I think after that, it just flipped a switch in my brain because I really enjoyed working on a construction site during that. I think what was best for me was being able to stand back at the end of the day and just seeing something that you made, something that you were proud of. So ever since then, I started my apprenticeship after that, found a company to work for, and then been building ever since.
So was there any like built, because a lot of times when you're a young fella, like there's like people you look up to, or someone has like a flash car or boat, and you're like, yeah, I want to be like that guy. Was there ever anyone that you sort of looked up to that was doing building?
Probably my granddad. He was and my uncle. They're both tradies. And yeah, I think seeing them work hard, it's a bit different than working in an office and stuff like that. Seeing people actually work hard just kind of inspired me as well, just to be like that.
Yeah. What did your parents do?
They both work in shipping industries, so
Oh, okay.
not building related, but
And you didn't want to get into that? Like that's not something you wanted to get into?
I wanted to when I was younger, but yeah, as I said, when I first started working on a construction site, doing a bit of labouring, I think that just switched for me. I thought that's what I want to do stuff with my hands and be proud of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. There's definitely a lot of satisfaction. Sometimes a lot of the more like quote unquote white collar jobs, office jobs and stuff like that. I don't know if there's like that level of satisfaction because you're constantly like doing work and work and work, but I don't know if there's that element of like, oh, there was nothing there and now look, we just built this today.
Yeah.
Or like you walk, like there's definitely that creative element. I said this on a podcast a little while ago, like I was building, I bought these like those those magnetic tiles, for my kids, and every time I build like a real cool structure, I'm like calling my wife over, and I'm like, "Come look at this," and then
you
it's
just
like
feel proud.
Yeah, it's
at
like
the end of the day, and just
Yeah.
knowing that you've done that. I think
yeah, I mean that's like on a very small scale, and what you guys do is like way more impressive, right? So I can imagine just like that satisfaction. So okay, so you then decide you want to get into building. You finish school.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, cool. Good on you. So you finish school, you decide to find a builder. What was that first day like, if you can like think back and, you're like walking on site as an apprentice for the first time? What was that like? Were you like, was it like scary? Was it exciting? Was it like nerve-wracking? What was the sort of feeling around that?
I think you feel a bit of everything, to be honest. Obviously, you're going to be nervous, but excited as well. I've always loved driving past construction sites and seeing progress being done. So I think you get a bit of everything, but as soon as you meet the boys on site, I think as long as you're working with a good crew, I think that helps as well. Yeah, after meeting everyone, you just kind of relax, you get to know them and stuff, but obviously you'll be nervous at first.
Yeah, and what was the vibe like now? Because I know, like, you have the old school mentality, lock the apprentice in the portaloo and like, like give them shit and treat them like garbage,
Yeah.
What was that? What was it like for you? Your experience, was only like a few years ago, but what was the experience like? Has things changed quite a bit from how you see it?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had any horror stories of being trapped in the toilet or anything like that, but obviously you give everyone shit on site. If you're the apprentice, you're at the bottom of the food chain, so everyone will give you shit, but it's just part of the culture, I guess. As long as you can take it and give it back, I think you'll have a healthy relationship with your workmates,
Yeah, so it's all kind of well-natured, in terms of the way that they give you shit, but it's kind of part of the banter.
You don't want to be bullying anyone, but I think if you find that fine line between teasing someone and stuff, that's all good.
What was, I'm always interested to know, like, what was your sort of biggest misconception around building, before you started versus actually doing it? Because you obviously have an idea in your head. What's different to what you anticipated?
I mean, to be honest with you, I always thought being a tradie was the easy way out compared to going to uni and stuff like that, getting a degree. I always thought, it's an easy route, but after working, it's been completely different. The stuff you learn on site, so important, and it's just really hands-on, which I enjoy. But there's so much to building, and I think that's what a lot of people kind of don't see. They always just see, it's those rough guys on site. But there's so much to it.
A lot to learn, eh?
A lot to learn, yeah.
So you got into your first year. Talk to me about, in your third year now, talk to me about your first sort of couple of years. Did you sort of start to feel like you sort of got it straight away and boom, boom, just leave it to me, I'll get it sorted? Or what was the vibe?
Yeah, first year, you obviously get some of the rough jobs. You're not doing too much for the first year. You're kind of just helping out. But I think as long as you're a good learner and follow good instructions, I think you'll slowly progress and get your own jobs. Then once you become second and third year, you can do stuff on your own, which is pretty good. And then third year and fourth year, you start doing jobs on your own, taking responsibility. But yeah, I think the first year, as long as you can absorb a lot of knowledge, I think you'll be good, yeah.
Yeah, what's been sort of like the hardest part, because I've talked to a lot of apprentices and obviously builders that've been through their apprenticeship, and they do mention that, like, the first, when you come out of school, it's very much like you got your tests, your
Yeah.
exams, tick, 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 and you kind of know, you can feel that progression.
Yeah.
But, sometimes with building, even though you're learning a lot, it doesn't always feel like that, like especially that first year,
Yeah.
first year and a half. What was sort of if you could think back and remember, what was sort of the hardest parts for you going through your apprenticeship so far?
I think just learning the terminology of stuff. There's so many components with building. I think trying to understand all the words and stuff, especially for like roofing and stuff, there's so much components in it and they can often confuse you. But I think as long as you start learning the terminology, I think that will help you out.
Yeah, it's really important, and I know that when they train you, you got to use the right words,
Yeah,
not just
yeah.
the vibe. You got to
yeah. I know.
use the right terminology, because it can get real confusing, if you're using the wrong words for things and people don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Any big mistakes you've made on site so far? We've all heard of guys stuffing a few things up. Anything you can think of? What's the biggest mistake you've made so far?
To be honest with you, I'm pretty lucky. I haven't done anything major. Obviously, everyone does the 100 mil trick every now and again, cut a bit of timber too short or something like that. But yeah, nothing too major. I think like everyone makes mistakes on site, and nothing you can do about it. But a good tip is I always ask 3-4 times, make sure that I'm doing it right. I'm always double checking. So I think that's helped me out. Sorry, I don't have a good story. I don't have any big
That's good
mistakes,
though.
but
That's good that you haven't had like any big stuff ups, because no, there's definitely those elements to it as well. For people, sometimes people listen to this, they're thinking of getting into building.
yeah.
Some young guys or whatever. What's the structure of, if you sort of talk year 1, year 2, year 3, what's the general structure of doing your apprenticeship,
Yeah.
just to give them a high level idea?
Yeah, so once you found your company and your boss is willing to take you on, I think, you'll ask him to sign you up for an apprenticeship, and then the apprentice mentor will come, talk you through everything, how it works, and then you'll get your books, and then while working, you'll gain as much knowledge as you can, and then relate it back to the books. You'll do write-ups on stuff you've done on site and just work through all the theory work. But yeah, first year, you're obviously doing the basic stuff. You'll probably get a few smaller theory works ticked off, and once you progress with your apprenticeship, you'll start taking on the more challenging stuff, the more like bigger fundamentals, and then slowly just progressing through. Third year, fourth year, we take on the big challenges and hopefully get signed off quickly. Then
Yeah, the learning curve is very interesting. For an apprentice, is that like it's quite flat to start, and then it sort of goes up sharp. It's almost like compound interest. Of money in the bank, right? It's sort of like nothing, and then it just sort of like it goes up quite fast as it compounds. When did you start to feel like you kind of when did it click for you? Because I assume year 1 you feel like you just wheelbarrow license and broom license.
Yeah.
When did it click for you as an apprentice, or has it clicked yet? Your year 3?
I mean, I think as soon as you get given responsibility, that's when you really need to focus and make sure you're doing it right. So that's usually third year, which for me, I'm running my own small little jobs at site now. And I think that's really important. In the first 2 years, you're just assisting your builder and get given smaller tasks. But third year for me, this year, I've been really locked in, given my own jobs. So I think that's good. being thrown in the deep end as well can help sometimes because it's just you. So
yeah, for sure. In terms of the bookwork, how are you doing with the bookwork? Like, how have you structured it? Is it sort of just you just do it kind of when you just cram it, or you do it at night consistently, or like how's the bookwork? Because the bookwork's really important, right? How do you kind of get that done?
To be honest with you, when I first started, I was always slacking off with my books, and I think if you're starting off, you should get into a habit with at least doing a write-up once a week. So now I've started doing every Monday, maybe Tuesday, at least half an hour write-ups, doing my theory work. Even if it's just something that I've done on site that day, just write about it. They'll go a long way, because the longer you leave it, no one's going to do your bookwork for you. So if you get into a good habit with your time management, finding a day when it suits you, I think will go a long way. Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of your, just kind of trying to get an idea of like is there any sort of resources or anything like that that's been particularly helpful for you, or anything that your current company has done that sort of like really helped you, get through that apprenticeship nice and steadily?
Yeah, with Builders Academy, they actually provide night school.
Okay, cool.
Once every 2 weeks. I go to that, and it's just really helpful to go through it with someone. You've got the assessors there to talk you through. Often we go through a unit standard each week, and then it's just helpful having people around you that are all in the same boat. You guys can bounce ideas off each other. Night school has been real helpful. In my company as well, they obviously want me to get qualified quick, so always nagging me about doing my bookwork and stuff, which I think is really helpful.
Yeah, no, I think it's really important for your company to be really involved.
Yeah.
And obviously they communicate with your trainers as well, right, in terms of what's coming up and what you need to know. Is there like an element of like, do you ever like read up ahead and stuff? You kind of maybe on site, like you're putting a roof on, or there's like a detail, certain aspects of the build that you are going to be working on. Because like your apprenticeship's never going to line up perfectly with a new build from start to finish, and everything's not going to work out perfectly for you. So do you ever like read up ahead in terms of that?
I think if you can try time your unit standard on what you're doing, it will be helpful. But even if you're doing something different on site and you're doing a different topic, I think doing a write-up every day, if you've done framing, do a write-up on what you've done on site, and that will help you when you eventually come to that unit standard.
Yeah.
Even if they don't line up at the same time. If you can time it, if you're doing roof and your advisor's coming in and he's asking what you want to do, you know the knowledge because you're doing it. So if you can time it, it's good.
Yeah. And so do you guys, so once every 2 weeks, anyway, you guys just like go and have some pizzas or something and just have something?
Yeah, they always provide a free feed, so...
Oh, that's always good.
That's good.
Okay, so you've been around other apprentices that way, and obviously maybe you have mates or in your, at your current company as well. Are you the only apprentice now, or is there some other apprentices?
Nah, we got a few boys in the company.
Yeah, because you guys got like 40 staff, something like that.
40 employees.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me from your perspective then, what makes a good apprentice? What are the attributes that you believe makes a good apprentice that the boss goes and people go, yeah, this guy's a gun, versus like a shit apprentice that's sort of just, ticking along, but they're okay, but not great?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I think attitude is the number one thing. You want to show your boss that you're willing to work for him. So if you rock up on site early, making sure the site's set up for the day, making sure the sites run smoothly, I think goes a long way. And being able to learn quick, I think is good as well. Being willing to be taught. When you start off, you don't know everything. So I think absorbing knowledge is important because that will go a long way.
Yeah, and how often do you like ask, do you ask to like, if you could like look at the drawings as well, and like the people, like how proactive do you think you need to be to a point where it's not like annoying for them? Like how, is there an element of like, is it good to be like super proactive, constantly asking questions constantly, or
Yeah.
does it get annoying for the guys?
If you can get sent the plans early on so you can look at them as well, I think it's good. But your boss shouldn't be annoyed at you for asking questions. You don't know everything at the start. So I think being able to work with them is really good. If they can teach you on what to do, it'll go a long way as well. But you shouldn't be afraid to ask questions because you don't want to mess up anything on site either.
Yeah. I think it's good, to kind of be like proactive and like a sponge. You obviously worked at like another company before you worked for this one.
Yeah.
What and obviously it was different. You mentioned we just talked offline quickly, and you just mentioned that the other company was a bit more old school. This one you're working with now is just a bit more new school, like systems, processes, and everything's run very professionally, which you enjoy. Like, how can for construction business owners listening to this podcast, how can they better support their apprentices, do you think, in order to help them sort of make it a more smooth process, maybe even fast track it a little bit? What are some elements that they do, or that you've seen they do well and others don't do well?
I think taking time with your apprentices is important. Being able to teach them is really good. You're never gonna know everything from the start. So if you take time with your apprentices and run them through what you expect of them, I think will go a long way.
What are the state of apprentices like these days, do you think? Like, do you think a lot of people say, apprentices, they're just like soft these days, because you guys, Gen Z, you guys are on your IG and on your TikTok, and you're just like seeing all these people making millions off crypto and drop shipping and day trading. And here you are, pushing around a wheelbarrow. Yeah. So I think that, it must be quite hard for you guys to kind of like, for someone to come in and want to be a builder and putting a lot of work, I think it's pretty honourable and great. But on the other hand, people say apprentices are soft and, they just want everything like too quick. Like, where do you see the state of apprentices at these days?
I mean, I think it just depends on the person. You got to have a good attitude when you come to work.
Do you think? Yeah, okay. So it's person by person. So I kind of get what you're saying there. Let me flip it the other way then for you, Hunter. So Gen Z, what motivates you guys? So you want to start, what's your sort of goals in terms of what you want to achieve with your building license and your career, and what's important to you, I guess?
For me right now, it's getting qualified as quick as I can. And then once I'm qualified, gaining as much knowledge as I can as well. I think I want to get into quantity surveying as well, learn the business side of building. Like, there's so much to learning in the building industry. I don't want to rush into starting my own stuff. I want to just stay in the building industry for a couple of years, and then when I'm ready, go out on my own and hopefully have people working under me as well. I think it's important not to rush into it straight away because there's so much you got to learn.
Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of builders, a lot of apprentices, they're like, can't wait to be qualified and go out on my own. But it's, you have to be, beware of doing that. Yeah. There's so many things in terms of the business element, business side of things that you don't really know yet.
Yeah.
And like I said, a lot of guests that have come on have said exactly that same thing. It's like you've got to stay in the game a bit longer. Try to learn from your employer in terms of the business side. Yeah. Maybe get them and get involved with the pricing. Make sure you understand how that works. The back costing. There's so many things that I just think builders leave too quickly. Yeah. And they can learn a lot more from their bosses.
I think if you get the chance as well, if you're qualified and you're still working for a company, if they kind of let you in on how it works and everything, I think that's important as well. If you can maybe see how they manage the money side of stuff, how they manage meeting clients and stuff like that. I think that's a good idea. You don't get thrown in the deep end by starting your own company and failing, but I think being exposed to everything and still being safe, I think be out in the long run.
100%. You mentioned that you worked with a more old school builder before. Let's talk a little bit of like technology and things like that. Like how beneficial has it been for you to kind of work with this new, not new company, but like your current company, JD Construction, Jono, versus like, where they have more systems and processes and they sort of lean into the technology and versus people that sort of stuck in the old school.
Yeah. So my first company, it was only 4 of us, so a lot smaller than what I'm with now. And the way everything worked is so different to how it is now. JD Construction's a really professional company, doing high-end architectural builds. So I'm getting exposed to quite a lot of high-end builds, which is such a good opportunity for an apprentice to see stuff like that. But yeah, my first company, it was just 4 of us, kind of old school vibes. My boss was a bit older. For example, when we were doing timesheets and stuff like that, I'd always have to write it down. The way he ordered materials, would always write it down, stuff like that. And yeah, with JD Construction, we've got people working in the office, we got QSs. So just seeing how different it is pretty inspiring as well, because I want my company to eventually be like that. But yeah, the way stuff is run is really professional.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a bit of a luck of the draw. I always kind of think of builders that I've interviewed as well, where they kind of like, I work for this amazing boss and learn this amazing way of doing things, and we work on this high-end stuff, and then they go out on their own and then they do the same thing, and obviously they have to still put the work in. Yeah. But it is a bit of luck of the draw, and you get like another guy who's working for a couple of sort of more shitty builders, and then it takes way longer for them to get to that point, So it is a bit of a luck of the draw. So I think if people are looking to luck of the draw also, but I think if people are looking to get into an apprenticeship, it's very important to, what do you think? Is it really important to find that right builder? And how do you kind of, what should you be looking for really? If we're trying to be helpful here, what should guys be looking for if they're trying to find a good builder to do their apprenticeship with?
I don't think it's about the size of the company. I think having a good boss that's willing to teach you and is really knowledgeable, if he can expose you out to different work. If you're just doing decks your whole apprenticeship, you're not going to get qualified. So if you got the scope of work where you get exposed to a lot of stuff and you got a good boss who's willing to take time with you, I think that will go a long way.
Yeah, I think that's like super important, like, because that's going to really set you up for your whole building career. It's really like who taught you at the start. And if you've got someone who's got really high standards and really teaching you, like, especially the carpentry, but then also like accountability and the business side and all that as well, and you're working on like a specific product, like maybe more like high-end architectural stuff, and you enjoy that, it's going to be a lot more beneficial for you. Yeah,
you want to be proud of your work as well. So if you got a boss with the good mindset of doing stuff properly, you don't want a cowboy as your boss that's just rushing jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah. What's the one sort of thing that you're struggling with the most at the moment?
I think now that I've got responsibility is trusting myself. Obviously, I know quite a bit now being third year, but often doubt myself, which I think I need to try overcome. Obviously, you want to make sure you're doing your job right, and you want to make your boss proud and stuff like that, and the clients proud. So I think just trusting yourself, backing yourself is really important. You don't want to always doubt yourself, because then you just get put in a slump.
Yeah, it's like a mindset thing, eh? Is there anything you do to kind of help you be in the right frame of mind? Like what sort of practical things do you do to kind of make sure your head's in the game? Like, is it something physical? Is it like habits, like anything like that you can speak on that you do that sort of just helps you make sure that you're not like, like you say, not consistently doubting yourself?
Yeah, I think just, don't doubt yourself. A lot of knowledge. I think having a positive mindset always is so important. Everyone has their bad days at work, but as long as you don't dig yourself a bigger hole while you're trying to do a job, I think is good. You always back yourself because it's so important.
Yeah, and then how do you get that positive mindset? Is it through friends, like people that you hang out with? Is it listening to like podcasts or reading books or just like going for a walk in the morning or like going for a run? Like how do you kind of like...
I think healthy relationships with your workmates, your friends and family goes a long way. Always making sure they're all right, they're making sure you're all right, I think is so important. But yeah, if you feel down, everyone has their own way of trying to deal with it. If that's going for a walk in the morning, hanging out with your mates, stuff like that.
Poor mental health, people's mental health, people have been freaking killing that topic as well, just like constantly talking about it. But it's bad, like, you know, construction industry has real bad rate of people taking themselves out, very poor rate, like very poor divorce rate. Like tradies are one of the highest, have one of the highest divorce rates.
Oh yeah.
So why do you think that is from your perspective? Like, you know, not in general, like trying to solve the world's problems, but just from your point of view, why do you think that may be?
I mean, it's such a stressful job. You get faced with so many challenges every day on site. And I think that can lead to a poor mindset, poor mental health. But yeah, I think building healthy relationships with your workmates and friends, being there for them being there for you is important. Looking after each other as well. If everyone has their down days, and I think just trying to flip that switch in your brain, that it's just a bad day, you don't hate your life, I think is important. But yeah, healthy relationships go a long way.
Yeah, I think that's really good, eh? Sometimes you just sort of hang out with someone, you just feel good, and then someone, you know, positive influence, and you just sort of like, okay, cool, I can just keep going.
Being able to talk with your workmates as well, if you are struggling, is so important.
Yeah, and you've got a good relationship with your guys?
Yeah. Everyone at work we got a real cool crew.
And do you guys, is your boss quite good with the cultural side, like making sure you guys are like doing fun stuff together? I know you guys are.
Yeah, we actually got a little meeting today, a little work function today. So yeah, we got a social club as well, which we do some fun activities on as well. So I think building a good work culture for your workers is so good.
What sort of stuff do you guys do for your social club?
Few different stuff. We've been whitewater rafting, paintball, like those type of activities. Yeah, sometimes just go to the pub as well, which everyone loves.
Yeah, I can't go wrong with having a pint at the pub. So okay, so the different providers at the moment, obviously, we work with Builders Academy, and you obviously going through your apprenticeship with them.
Yeah.
You didn't start with him though, eh? You started with another provider?
With one of the other providers.
Yeah. How have you found transitioning? Why did you transition? Was it just your boss, or was it you? Or like, and how have you found the transition from the old provider to the current one?
So I actually switched over when I moved companies.
Right.
And I was going to stick with them. I didn't really know much about Builders Academy, but after speaking to some of the apprentices at my company, them telling me all the benefits, it was pretty much a no-brainer to switch over.
So what were some of the benefits that they kind of talked through that was different?
I mean, the most important thing is them seeing you more regularly, every 4 or 5 weeks. Helps you build a connection with your assessor more. It doesn't feel like an interview. It doesn't feel like you're getting pressed about stuff. You can just rock up, have a chat with them, and then they'll do their verbal assessment, but it doesn't feel that forced or anything. And then with the other guys, it would be every 2-3 months, which it's a bit rough.
Yeah, so there's like the two elements almost, like there's the one that you can't really, it's hard to build a relationship with someone that you see every 3 months, right?
Yeah.
So that you're not vibing on that basis.
Nah.
And then there's also the other element of like, if someone's only seeing you every 3 months, then you have to have a lot more work that, book work that you have to cover within that period. So
you have to try cram a lot of work in for your meeting compared to every 5 weeks. You can go over one topic and know quite a bit on it and maybe get signed off completely. But if you're trying to cram 3 months of work in for a meeting, can be pretty stressful.
So you have a pretty good relationship with your current assessor?
Yeah.
So you're vibing and like, and then...
Yeah, we'll rock up, we'll talk about football, stuff like that for the first half hour. It's just really relaxed. He's like, I wouldn't say he's my mate because he's still my training advisor, but it doesn't feel like a forced chat. We'll talk about random stuff, and then once we get to the verbal assessment, it switches as well. So you get a bit of both. You get the professionalism and then just like chats as well.
Yeah, because I caught up with you with your trainer, right? And then could tell like that you guys have like a friendship. It's like a real thing. It's not like an awkward kind of like, it's my teacher that I see every 3 months, you know? So no, that's good. Okay, that's a good vibe. So in terms of feedback for them, well, let's first ask you this. Was it a pain in the ass to switch over? Or what was that like? Was it like, was it completely different? You had to like do all this stuff? Or what? Talk me through that.
It was actually a pretty easy process. I had all my work uploaded on a website. I had all my work saved anyway. And then when I switched over, pretty much sent them all my work and they put it in their system. So real quick to switch over.
Yeah. And in terms of Builders Academy themselves, like what, is there any feedback you have for them in terms of areas that they can improve on or systems or the way that they run things or anything like that? It's always kind of good to know for them as well.
I'm actually quite happy, like switching over. I've only had positive feedback for them. I really think the night schools help. But yeah, if they can maybe do night school in every area of the country, I'm not sure if they're doing that, but yeah, if they can make that available for everyone, I think would be good.
Okay, so the night school thing, yeah, that's actually like super valuable. Because I always like imagine that doing your apprenticeship, now obviously you guys have a bigger team, you got more apprentices on site, but I've always, would it be fair to say that going through your apprenticeship is sort of like, can be a very sort of isolating thing? Because it's not like, I know that people that go to uni, you walk into a class, it's like, there could be like 50 people in your class, you're all going through the same thing, there's a lot more, helping one another out, but there's also the way more camaraderie in a sense of like, you go to uni, you're just like, everyone's at the pub, you're in class for 3 years, you get to know them, and there's like heaps of you. And there's a lot of social clubs and a lot of that sort of stuff. Like, it's not quite the same with when you do your apprenticeship. Can it be quite isolating?
It's pretty much just you. Like, it's your apprenticeship. Luckily, I've got most of my mates are tradies as well. We've got a few builders, so that's helped me quite a bit working with them. But yeah, it's nothing like going to uni. It's you and your books. But I think your advisors, they do help you out. They make sure that you are doing okay. If you are struggling with any work, they're often there for you. And I think if you do feel alone while doing it, the night schools are really helpful because you can bounce ideas off each other.
What sort of like, if you think about like, as you've been going through your apprenticeship, through your trainer or even through the company that you work with, what's like some of the best advice that you've received so far that's really helped you that could help some other guy that's thinking about getting into an apprenticeship, or maybe they're in their apprenticeship right now or year one or something? I
think just being proud of your work. You want to stand back at the end of the day and be proud of what you've done. You don't want to rush anything. And then, being proud of your work, even if you're on the shovel all day or just cleaning up site, being able to go home and be proud of what you've done, I think goes a long way. Yeah.
100%. And what advice do you have for other apprentices or people looking to get into apprenticeships? Like, so maybe they haven't started, they may be imming or ahhing.
Yeah.
Like, what would be your sort of top few bits of advice to give them to kind of make sure they're on the right track?
Yeah, I think if you're first starting off, first impressions are everything. You want to rock up to a site with a good attitude. You want to show your boss that you're willing to work for him. So yeah, rocking up early, setting up site, finishing late if need be, goes a long way. Yeah, good attitude is everything.
Yeah, attitude, you got, like, I've talked to so many business owners as well, and I always ask, like, what do you hire? What's the element you hire for? And they're always like, attitude first. You can always teach them the skill set later on, but like if they have the wrong attitude, even if they know how to do the work, It's painful.
Yeah, you want to be able to learn as well. You want your boss to teach you everything he knows. So being a good learner as well.
Yeah, 100%. So what's your sort of goal? Like what would success be to you in terms of like the type of projects that you work on, and like what gets you fizzed and excited in terms of like the type of work you want to do?
Yeah, I love the high-end architectural builds, which my company does quite a few of. I think being put on those jobs, like you're doing stuff that not the ordinary builders are doing, and there's so much different stuff that you get exposed to. So eventually, when I have my own company, I think focusing on the high-end architectural builds will be pretty cool.
Yeah. And is there there must be like a bigger learning curve then for you as well, right? Like if you have a builder that's just sort of doing more cookie cutter stuff, they're going to get qualified, like, and then they're kind of, getting them to a point where they can complete those homes. It's going to be way faster than what it's going to take if you have to like really understand those, putting those details together and understanding how to do a good job there. Like, is it quite a learning curve? And
yeah, because you're not doing the ordinary houses where you just slap them up. They're all the same. Doing high-end stuff, everything's different. You get exposed to so much. There's so many details and stuff with the plans as well that are so different to ordinary houses. So you learn heaps on site doing those type of builds, yeah.
Yeah, and what would success be to you long term, like overall, like with business and family and how you do life? In terms of life itself, like what would success be to you?
Eventually having guys work for me, having my own company. I really want to be able to build my own house when I'm older as well, somewhere up north maybe. So I think that would be good. Yeah, settling down with a family as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. I mean, that's why you're here, right? We're trying to find your girlfriend.
Yeah.
So, hopefully we can get some ladies reaching out. We don't have many female listeners on this podcast, so good luck. It'll definitely be a builder if it's a girl reaching out. But yeah, just DM me away. That's probably the easy way to do it. I've got some rapid fire questions for you. Are you open to run through that?
Yes, sir.
Cool, man. You've been enjoying it so far?
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah. A bit nerve-wracking, but no, I've enjoyed it.
It's good, eh? No, it's good fun. Okay. Let's get going. Okay, so what's the most used tool in your penny?
Probably my tape. Yeah, you need your tape for everything, measuring stuff. So
don't leave that behind, eh?
Yeah, it'll be a rough day on site if you do.
Yeah. What's your go-to snack during smoko?
Rice and tuna. I've got that every day. So I think I've had it for the past 3 years every day.
Just on brand, eh? On brand. What's your worst on-site injury? Have you had any injuries on site?
Yeah, when I first started, I cut half my finger off with a skilly. So that was probably the worst. Had to get surgery on it as well. But,
oh, no.
Yeah.
And were you like kicking yourself on the inside? Just like, what an idiot.
What an idiot, yeah. But health and safety is important, so I've learned to try keep safe on site.
Yeah, that is important, eh? What's the most common mistakes new apprentices make?
I think rushing stuff. You want to take your time with what you're doing. If you rush stuff, your work's not going to be good and probably lead to mistakes. So you should take your time.
No, that's good advice. If you could build anything in the world, what would it be?
Probably my dream house, feature house. I'd love to build my own home when I'm older.
And what would that house look like? Would it be like a lot of like cedar and like what's the vibe of it?
Yeah, hopefully somewhere up north, maybe like a batch vibes, true Kiwi style. Yeah, quite a few cedar walls and stuff like that, cedar ceilings. Be the dream.
Oh, good stuff. What was your secret to staying motivated during tough days? Like when you're there, you're digging a hole, it's pissing down, and like you cut your finger off, and the boss is angry at you. Like how do you sort of deal with the tough days?
I think just trying to stay motivated on days like that. Like you're going to have rough days on site. I think just trying to back yourself, even if you're having a tough time, goes a long way.
Yeah, just sort of leave the day behind, start again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good advice. Okay. What's the funniest thing that's happened to you on a job? Can you think of anything?
When we were demoing a house we had this big beam, roof beam, and the only way to get it out was to throw it out the window. So it's pretty funny. One of the boys got a video of it and us throwing it out the window. Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Okay, cool. Coffee or energy drink?
Coffee, 100%.
EV or petrol head?
Petrol head.
Rock or hip hop or EDM?
Oh, probably EDM, yeah. Nothing beats a bit of house music on a Friday.
These Zoomers, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was laughing at Dan behind the camera there, who's also just pumping the doof kind of music here in the office.
Can't beat that on a Friday, Arvo, I think.
Are you a jock or a hippie?
Bit of both, I'd say.
Bit of both. What's your most used emoji on your phone? You have to be honest.
Probably the thumbs up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the laughing one. Yeah.
The classic. Are you an extrovert or an introvert?
Probably a bit of an introvert at first, but then once I get to know you, I'll definitely be an extrovert. Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Rugby league or union?
League.
What, are you a Warriors fan?
Yeah.
Yeah. UFC or F1?
Ooh, depends on the fight card. I love the UFC. Me and the boys always watch it, but
Who's your favorite fighter?
Charles Oliveira.
Oh,
this
yeah.
weekend actually.
Oh,
So
nice. Yeah.
hopefully he does it.
Yeah, he's coming up soon, eh? Wine or beer?
Beer.
Makita, DeWalt, or Milwaukee?
So I started with Milwaukee, but I've recently started switching to the Makita 40 volt, and I don't think you can beat that. So yeah, Makita.
What's the last piece of advice you can give to apprentices coming through?
Trust yourself, I think. Yeah. I think just to sum it up, yeah, trust yourself.
That's awesome. Last question. Did you have fun?
Yes, sir, I did. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks, man. I really appreciate you coming on and having a bit of a yarn.
Cheers for having me.
Yeah, no worries. And hopefully we can get your boss on next, eh? Jono?
Yeah, Jono.
I've sent you a message.
Come through.
Come through, eh? Awesome, mate. Thank you so much, eh?
Sweet. Cheers. Bro.